All right. Hi, everybody. Happy Father's Day. And this is your market update. So, just briefly, I noticed that the market is up today, obviously. Uh, a friend of mine did a nice poll over the last 24 hours with 65% of the people expecting ETH to take out 2K on the downside. This reinforces a notion that I've held for quite some time on the show that if everyone thinks the same thing, something else happens. So people finally got bearish enough for the market to pop up. Now, one word of caution. During the bull market, there were several instances over U.S. holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and I believe Easter, where there were big downdrafts at or around those holidays that then created bottoms that allowed the market to move higher. I have a moderate concern, given the way legacy traded, that now we are doing the opposite. So we're having a holiday bounce. Yes, that's wonderful. I don't have to be in a bad mood as I eat my cheeseburger. However, I would caution and let's calculate some levels and give you some navigation that's helpful so you don't wind up either buying the top of a rally or missing in the start of a new rally. Now, if Bitcoin is above like 36.5 to 37,600, if Bitcoin takes out that area, I would consider that very positive. ETH, we've been discussing this for a while, that area between 2180 and 2200 is very good support. If that holds, there's a lot of promise in ETH, particularly since there's headlines over the weekend about the long-awaited entry of big legacy players into DeFi. Now, that said, if Bitcoin cannot take out this key level near, say, 37.5K, and stocks start to turn lower, all right, things could get very ugly in equities. I'll go through the charts later, but let me give it to you very, very simply. If you go to the grocery store, inflation is out of control. And the only way I think they have to stop it is to allow asset prices or stocks to fall. So either they're going to let the inflation run rampant or they're going to let stocks drop to try and stop the inflation. Now, let's talk about something happy. It's Father's Day. Normally, Ethereum consolidates in 30-day increments, right? This is a log chart of ETH. Right now, we're essentially at the 30th day or just past the 30th day for the consolidation phase. So if institutions come to DeFi and if legacy holds together, I would say if there's a place to be bullish right now, it's ETH. Now, for Bitcoin, even though in an inflationary environment, Bitcoin being hard money is positive for the coin, realistically, I've really got to see that punch through 37,000. This is an intraday chart, so if you're watching this a month from now, it may not be exactly relevant, but it does provide a good example that when you have these Elliott wave structures where you fall in 5 waves or like a trend, that you've got to take out the top of that 4th wave before you can really start getting excited about the upside. So this case, it's 36.5K. You want to see Bitcoin take that out before you get too excited. Now, addressing some of our picks and some of our coins that have and have not worked. Perp, which held up incredibly well during the meat of the decline in April, has since slid and is now at the bottom end of its range at 5.5. So it's got a range of 5.5 to 12. Things like Audius, I believe, my colleagues could confirm that that's something that we would look to hodl. But things like, there are other coins. Perp is not one of them, but there are other coins where you would consider tax loss selling if the market continued to go lower. All right, let's talk about Uniswap, another DeFi benchmark. I find it really interesting that Uniswap has made multiple attempts to go below 20. Okay, those attempts have failed going all the way back to February. It is theoretically possible that DeFi actually gets its footing if ETH holds together. Now, I know there's somebody out there thinking that I may be talking out of both sides of my mouth. I have to talk in probabilistic terms, but I am pretty happy that Uniswap saw buyers near 19 or 20. Now, let's talk about the real risks. Now, I'm not talking about the risks on Monday. I'm talking about the risks next week, next month, and even next year. Stocks, to me, are just getting to the point where society has to decide whether or not little people are going to be able to buy groceries or wealthy people are going to continue to have stocks as an instrument to borrow against to finance their lifestyles. It's almost a sociology problem at this point. When you saw equities roll over, I said to myself, I wonder if that was like the high. Just like in 2008, you had the low at 666. Equities have gotten very far away from a Gann line that has been relevant going back to 2016. A lot of times when, just like when Forrest draws his trend lines, when the S&P has gotten too far away from this line, there have been big flushes. I can definitely see something happening where S&P falls below 4,000. I can even see something where the S&P falls to 3,000. Okay, QQQ, okay, NASDAQ 100 containing all the big FANG stocks like Netflix, okay, Google, Microsoft, Apple. The negative divergences in these stocks on a weekly basis has been going on for so long, it's almost like no one pays attention to it anymore. However, if you have a situation where people cannot buy the dip in stocks successfully, let me rephrase. So everybody in stocks buys every dip. If the people who buy the dip off Friday's decline do not make money, I can see stocks going a lot lower. Now, how does that impact crypto? Well, I can see a counter rally where stocks go sideways to lower and DeFi does rally. However, please accept the fact that if there is a huge blowout in equities, it is possible that there's a flash crash lower to say 20K in Bitcoin. We'll go over it later in the stream, but I do not think at this juncture, Bitcoin is going to be immune or safe from any problems that happen in equities. So to all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Grateful today is green, and I wish you the best going forward. Stay safe and stay frosty next week for equities, and that's the market update.
Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.